What are your top suggestions for someone that's marketing on a budget?
I'm planning this trip and we're in Edinburgh, Scotland.
What do you think the future of dental marketing looks like?
Vision starting to come to you about the future. And I would just tell you, just trust yourself, man.
ADEC's Smart Start program offers first-time practice owners their deepest discounts on equipment and furniture for 2 years, plus other savings and complimentary services. Ask your ADEC rep for details and start smart with ADEC. Join Doctors Savanah Craig and Ronnetta Sartor as we navigate life beyond graduation. Real conversations about forging our own paths in our early years in our careers. There's a reason it's called practicing dentistry.
Welcome back to our part 2 episode with Joshua Scott from Studio 88.
All right, Josh. So we want to be respectful of your time. So we want to hit you with some rapid fire questions before we finish up to, you don't have to answer them in like one word or anything like that because these are tricky, but that's how we'll finish this off.
So what are your top suggestions for someone that's marketing on a budget?
Marketing on a budget, it would depend on what the budget is, but I would say, honestly, your best bang for the buck is going to be in social media. So creating content there and just building an audience. That's for a low budget practice. That's where I would go.
What are your top myths that you want to dispel regarding dental marketing or marketing in general?
Top myths. The first one is if you throw money at it, you will fix the problem. That is a myth.
I like it.
Yeah, you cannot ever throw money at something and just like, here, fix it. That rarely works with anything. And I think sometimes we feel like it's like if we throw money at it, we're throwing like pixie dust at it, or it's like the magic beans. We throw them in the ground and all of a sudden there's this like giant beanstalk. And man, nothing in life works like that. We all wish it would. We want to go buy a lottery ticket and be millionaires. But the truth is things just don't work like that. So that's probably my biggest myth.
I like that.
What made you become a sommelier?
Yeah. Always loved wine. The truth is I never touched alcohol until I turned 30. And a lot of that was that seminary ministry background, just didn't get into it. And so then when I went to work with this dental marketing or this dental consulting group after that, and I'm planning this trip and we're in Edinburgh, Scotland. I plan this international trip for our clients to go over to Edinburgh.
I love Scotland.
I know. Yeah. Edinburgh is just like magical. And so our first night we had this welcome reception and I had bought all this like French red wine, that was being served. And I'm sitting there and I was like, it was probably this moment of, hey, I'm not in this ministry world anymore. And we're serving $100 bottles of French red wine. And so I, had one and then that started it. Then I think I planned a trip for them the next year to wine country. And my wife was out there with me on that one and we kind of fell in love with it together. And then COVID hit 2020 and I was like working so much. And I thought, I need a hobby right now to like get my mind off of this. And so I signed up and did level 1, level 2, level 3. Like drinking more wine during COVID may not have been the best thing. At some point, people were like, we probably need to drink less coming out of COVID. But yeah, it was a fun time.
What is your favorite wine?
That's tough and it always changes.
Yeah.
Right now I'm a big sparkling wine guy. So
yes.
A lot of champagne, just even Prosecco.
I love the bubbles.
Yes.
What do you wish the general public knew about dentistry? Because you're coming from an outside perspective and dentistry is a weird world. So what would be some things that you wish everybody else knew about dentistry and dentists?
I wish they knew how beautiful of a profession it was. It's one of the most innovative professions out there. It's humans serving humans. There's a real beautiful like service component to it. But even beyond all that, I mean, just the health benefits and the longevity. Charles Mayo said to the American Medical Association in 1948, he said a patient with complete dentition and what he called optimum oral health should expect to live on average 10 years longer. And if you think about Charles Mayo saying that to a group of doctors, physicians in 1948, like how far ahead of his time was he to make a statement like that? And ever since then, all the research has come back to it. It shows that. There's a book called Real Age. Michael Roizan talks people through like, okay, if you smoke, like add 7 years to your life, so you find this real age. And one of his things was he said, having periodontal disease, you're going to add 10 years to your life. Like you're 7 years older. He also said the converse of that is if you're in optimum oral health, you can subtract 3 years from your life. So you have this 10-year swing of being in optimum oral health. And so we've seen it over and over again. And I think that the American public, I don't think understands that. But, going to the dentist and that relationship, it's a decision about longevity and quality of life.
Beautifully said. You can be the spokesperson for dentistry going forward.
Yeah, I need you in my office, like at every hygiene appointment.
Yeah.
Can you make
put it
those
all
like
in-
patient videos that we play in the waiting room?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I joke around with practices sometimes, and I'm like, man, what if you guys had like on your scrubs or t-shirts or something that was like, by being here today, you can live 10 years longer. Ask me how. Like
Yeah.
it'd be a fun way to just engage patients for sure.
Yeah,
I love
that would be
that.
huge.
So, what do you think makes dentistry as a business different than any of the other businesses that's out there?
I think you guys having to be a technician, a provider, and also run a business, I think makes it really, really unique. There are other professions that are like that for sure, but it's very hard, especially early on, to realize like you have a business, but that business also demands you having a job in the business, where a true business doesn't necessarily need that. Like if at this point with Studio 88, I mean, if I stepped away, that thing is still running. I definitely have value as a CEO and my leadership of what I'm doing, but I'm not necessarily chair side, so to speak. I don't have to go in on Monday to produce revenue for the thing to keep going. And so that's a uniqueness that I think is hard to navigate sometimes. You can build a really big practice all on your shoulders, but you decide you want to go away for a month in the summer. I mean, maybe you can have some hygiene checks happening, but that summer month takes a massive hit on revenue because of it. And so learning how to build a business that isn't so reliant on you is a really interesting skill set to develop and like perspective.
Going off of that, how have you seen the dental landscape change in, the 12 years you've been doing this? What would you say are kind of the biggest differences now in dentistry as a whole?
Probably two things. I would definitely talk about innovation. I think the last 10 to 12 years, man, so much. I mean, I think dentistry they were 3D printing before a lot of people even knew what 3D printing was. If you think about just the first set of like CEREC mills and things like that. So what I watch happen sometimes, I mean, people now just even milling their own like Invisalign,
Dentures.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Invisalign.
well, yeah. I mean, I've seen the big mills like in practices that can actually produce like a same day denture. That's crazy. But even just doing, like aligner trays, it's wild how far that's gone. And that's just one piece of it. I mean, we could talk about diagnostics and all the other things. What's happening right now with AI and diagnostics is also it's mind boggling. But I would also, obviously the DSO consolidation, I think you can't talk about the last 10 years without talking about that and how that's affecting dentistry and what's happening there. And I think a lot of it hasn't been good, and usually in early cycles, a lot of it, yeah, we don't have a handle on it. I think now we're seeing some good sized groups come around that are really have patient care first and foremost. They're not just trying to build something to sell it or flip it or recap. It's like we actually have a model here of growing an organization. So yeah, I think those two things.
That's awesome.
Beyond what you kind of mentioned earlier, what do you think the future of dental marketing looks like?
The future of dental marketing.
Do you like candlelit dinners?
Do you like late night walks on the beach?
Do you want to watch the sunrise over your own lakefront property?
Do you want slow mornings?
Do you want afternoon yoga classes whenever you want?
Do you want peace of mind?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, help us build the self-determined future you're looking for. Check out Ignite DDS Coaching.
Mention Beyond Graduation Podcast for a free consultation with Ignite DDS Coaching.
I really think with AI, we're going to get to the point where a lot of things if we go back to that right brain, left brain, a lot of things on the performance side, I think we're going to probably be able to handle and automate more with AI. What I still think is going to be a huge variable, and I see this for the next at least decade, is the creative. I think AI is going to really struggle with the creative. And even as best as AI can do it, I still think there's an advantage to humans working with AI to go, oh my gosh, I've got this idea. And what if we took this angle and now you're using AI to build it? But I mean, we were just having this conversation of, okay, what if a website can just get anybody, anywhere, anytime can just build a beautiful website just with AI with a touch of a button? And it kind of takes that part away. Well, but still, what photos are you going to put up there? What videos are you going to put up there? What videos are you putting up on TikTok and Reels that are getting pulled in by AI searches? That stuff I think is going to become even more valuable down the road. So I really think the creative is going to be the key and the variable as we see AI start to gobble up a lot of other stuff.
So I have a loaded question. I was supposed to ask you. You'll never guess who told me to ask you this. Who your favorite client is?
I have no idea who
comment.
would ask me my favorite client, but he's really a cool guy. No, I have really enjoyed our journey with you guys for sure. And just knowing Michael, gosh, for years. I mean, I think I spoke at, I don't know if it was, no, maybe it was the ASDA meeting back then where I first met him. Mm-hmm. And we just have kept in touch, and our team has been able to, you guys have really put some big goals in place, and he's a visionary with kind of what he sees. And he also doesn't settle for however he did the last time. He's got to go bigger, got to go better. And that builds every time. And it's just been fun, even challenging our team, when it's like, hey, new practice and here's the goal. And the team's like, what? We thought we did great last time. And I'm like, yeah, and we're going to build and go on to the next one. So you probably feel the same way. It's fun to work with people like that. Sometimes it's can be stressful and exhausting keeping up with them, but man, also the thrill of doing something that you feel like matters and is growing you can't replace that.
Yeah. It's been great, and we've loved working with you guys and your team. So AI will not replace you. So that's good.
Well, and yeah, it's good to know. And Savanah, what I would tell, and I've said this about him to my team and to other people, what he is building and the way he's building it is elite in the country. Like it really is. I have a very good view of what's happening in the country and the way he's building. I don't know of anybody else that's building practices like that. And I think a lot of people, if they knew what he was doing, they would be like, oh my gosh, like show me, tell me what you're doing. So
yeah, keeping the growth, but also really caring about the patients and the team and yes, taking care of all of us is huge.
Yeah.
Josh, if you can leave us with one piece of advice for you can pick your favorite era of dentists. I would say our listeners are usually like D4s to their first 10 years out. But what is some advice that if people listen to nothing but this last 5 seconds or 5 minutes of the podcast, what would you want to share?
I would tell them, a few years back, I had kind of a business mentor of mine, and I was sitting down, and we were actually at a conference, and we were sitting down at lunch, and I was like, hey, can I throw something by you? And he's like, yeah. And I'm talking to him about this like situation I'm dealing with in business. It kind of just had me stumped, and I'm like, man, I'm just not real sure. And he listens and asks some questions. At the end of it, he was just like, he says this statement to me. He says, trust yourself, because I do. And I sat there and was like, here's this guy that just listened to me kind of, filter out the whole thing and says to me, then trust yourself, because I do. And that level of confidence, I was like, I never thought about that of some the people around me going like, no, we trust you. Like, what's your instinct? Go with it. And I think if I look back on myself, my 25-year-old self, if I ever ran into him in a coffee shop, like I would say that same thing of trust yourself, because I do. Like your future self, I trust you. And so that's what I would say to your listeners too. The D4s, the recently out of school, is especially if you're feeling something inside you, you're seeing something, and maybe you're in an associateship right now, but this vision starting to come to you about the future, maybe the next 2 to 3, 5 years, and some of your plans for dentistry. And I would just tell you, just trust yourself, man. Go for it. When I look back, probably one of my greatest journeys as a person has just been building my confidence as I go. I know I can come off very confident internally. That's been a huge accomplishment of mine, is building that structure. And so when you're young, having somebody go for it. Like, I believe in you. So that's what I would say.
I love that. Well, thanks for spending your Saturday morning with us. Can you tell everyone where to find you and your team and where to go from here?
Yeah. For more information on Studio 88, our website is sae8.com. So it's the letter S, the number 8, the letter E, the number 8.com. For me personally, go over to Instagram. I'm at Joshua Scott. I'm still in my social media accounts. DM me. Tell me you heard this show. I'll respond back to you. That's me definitely in there for sure. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being on. Love what you're doing. Always want to support anybody out there doing stuff innovative and just taking a step, being courageous. Like, let's start a podcast. So I love all that.
Thank you. All right, we'll catch you all back next time.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Beyond Graduation. If you enjoyed this week's episode, be sure to share it with a friend. Connect with us on social media at Savanah Craig DDS and at Dr_Sartor. And remember, you are not alone on this journey.
ADEC certified pre-owned equipment is a sustainable, affordable choice that makes genuine ADEC equipment available to every doctor. Each package is sold on a first-come, first-served basis. So, if you see one you like, contact your dealer. For more information, go to www.adec.com/find a dealer. Thank you for listening to Beyond Graduation, brought to you by Ignite DDS and Future Dentists. This episode was sponsored by Ignite DDS Coaching. We build self-determined futures. For more information, please reach out to the Ignite DDS team.